What's up, YouTube fans? Today I'm reviewing the Toyworld Coolsville TW-M05 figure, or their not Jazz figure. I'm really excited for this. I've been waiting for Jazz to come along. I usually don't buy third-party figures unless Takara either has decided not to make it or made it and it wasn't good. They haven't made Jazz yet. I think they're still struggling to get the license from Porsche to make this thing. So in the meantime, I have this guy as a placeholder. Maybe we'll see if he's good enough to be a placeholder on my shelf. But for the box, this is my first Toyworld figure. I haven't had one before, so we'll see how this stands up against the other Masterpiece figures. Nothing really on the sides. Kind of a continuation of the scene here. It just says Toyworld there. Again, continuation of the Autobot arc there, and that's it. And on the back, you've got some warnings in Japanese. I think that's Japanese. Yeah. And that's really it. So let's get it open. It wasn't even taped shut or anything. It just came like this. Nice, almost like a shoebox. And here you have the instruction manual and trading collector's card. Pretty nice. And it comes in this really nice styrofoam packed box. I love that they did that. Keeps the figure nice and clean. Let's see, you got some extra parts here. Looks like extra head and grappling hook parts. On this side you've got, looks like the guns, both on the actual grappling hook itself. And I don't know what this is. This looks like the missile. Interesting. And oh, there's more. Wow, there's a lot of little baggies. You've got his speakers. You've got, man, there's a lot of stuff. Okay, this must be his rocket launcher. So the rocket must remove. That's pretty neat. And finally, the figure itself. Let's get the box out of here. That's pretty much it for the box, but it really is quite a nicely packed. I don't know if Toyworld's doing all of the boxes like that, but pretty good. Now, so here is the Toyworld Coolsville, or otherwise known as Jazz to us. And I believe it's kind of packed for shipping, so we'll try to get this guy separated here. Alright guys, it was not that complicated. You just kind of pull the arms out. It was a little tight. And for the legs, these two glass pieces tab together, and they're really tight, so you just have to be careful taking it off. But for packaging purposes, they packed it really kind of together, the legs together and the arms tucked in so that it couldn't get damaged. But oh my god, this guy is incredible. Like, the look of this thing. First of all, the weight. It's well weighted in the feet and the legs, so it's got some nice heft to it. There's die cast. I think you could probably see it. I'm trying to get the sheen. It's like a pearlescent white, but because it's on the die cast, this is die cast, and I believe this back piece is die cast. Maybe this whole piece is die cast. I'm not sure, but you see this kind of yellowish sheen to it because it's painted on top of metal. Well, this looks like plastic, so I don't know. It's just got a great looking paint job. It's in person. It's really impressive. It did not look like this in the pictures. I don't remember looking like this in the pictures, but it really looks good. And you got some nice articulation. We're gonna go over all the articulation here. But man, I'm definitely impressed with the look of this guy all the way around. Everything, including the feet, the arms, the back. You do have the optional doors here that you can have up and out. We'll figure that out in a minute. Yeah, I haven't even looked at this yet, so really amazing. Now you do have a head sculpt there. I don't know. I'll put up an image of Jazz up in the corner, top corner, so we can do a little comparison. But here is the head sculpt. It's not bad. It's actually pretty good. I just can't remember if this looks like Jazz or not. It's probably pretty close. Now if we take the alternate head here, let's take a look at that. just packed very nicely in this baggie. Here's the other head. Okay, so it's sort of a shouting face. Again, a very nice head sculpt. I think it's okay that they did light piping here because his eyes are kind of dark blue. And that's fine. So this guy's got the dark blue eyes going on. And I think it looks okay. By the way, this white piece behind him, it doesn't bother me at all. In pictures, it kind of looks annoying, but in person, you don't really notice it. I was trying to see if there's a way to get rid of it. It doesn't look like there's a way to fold this away. You can fold it backwards a little bit more, so it's kind of angled backwards, but that's really all you can do with it. But again, it doesn't bother me. Now, this has some very nice posability in the feet. Looks like you got some very wide ankle tilts and pivot. I don't see pivot. Yeah, I'm not sure there's any pivot there, but still pretty good articulation for a third-party figure here. Now, we have a lot of accessories to go through in this guy. I just want to cover all the details on this. So the headlights here are translucent blue plastic. What's really cool is they have all this, they've tampographed on. Wow, that is an incredible detail there. Instead of Martini Racing, you have Mortini Racing. You got the number 4. It says Shell, so I don't know how they can say Shell, but it says Shell. It says Bosch with 2 S's. Bilstein. Martini Racing on the back. Martini Racing down here. Shell again. Very, 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 very nicely detailed. I'm really impressed. On the chest here, you've got painted parts, which is nice. They're not translucent plastic like they were on Megatron, but that's fine. It looks good. So overall, very, very impressive in robot mode. This is cool. You've got 2 separate colors. You got a yellow arrow and a red triangle on his knees. I'll have to check if that was cartoon accurate. Yeah, I'm blown away by this thing. It's just really good. Really, really good looking. I was wondering if I'm going to keep this. I'm definitely keeping this. Now, we'll see transformation. I've never had a Toyworld figure, so I don't know how complex or how easy this is going to be. So let's first take a look at his gun. Here it is. It's painted white and silver. It's one piece. I believe this just kind of fits right into his hand. Let's take a look at his hand too, since we're here. Okay, so he's got a thumb, which is posable, and then he's got the 4 fingers all kind of connected, which is fine. I think for a Carbot, that's good enough. You don't need anything more than that. And the gun just sort of fits into his hand. It's a really tight fit, but you can get it in there. Oh, I'm sorry. The hand it's got 2 pieces. So the bottom 2 and the top 2 fingers separate, which is nice. You can get the hand in there, or you can get the gun in there. It's a real tight fit, so you just want to be careful. Break something. There you go. He's holding his gun. Damn, that looks so good. Such a good mold on this thing, and a lot of articulation. We're gonna have to go over that, but there he is with his handgun. Now let's get out his shoulder missile here. Everything's nicely packed in these little Ziploc baggies. I don't know if Takara, I mean, of course, every time Takara sees all these other figures that third parties are putting together, they take the best of all and make something that, oh wow, this actually shoots. Let's see. Feels like it's spring-loaded. I think it is spring-loaded. Whoa, holy cow. That is like a missile. Oh my god. Okay, so I guess this shoots. A nice feature that wasn't necessary, but it's cool that they included that. Actually, I'm worried that over time this might actually break, this mechanism. Uh-oh, now it's not actually staying. Here we go. And let's see. So this should fit right into the shoulder. Oh, I forgot to take these out and show those off, so let's show that off. Man, that is so cool. Holy cow. I don't know why I love this so much, but these doors, oh my god. This is incredible detail here. I mean, look at the paint and the tampo detail on there, the door handle, like it's just awesome. And then the look of this guy with his wings out. Really, really good. This thing kind of just tucks back in, although I think there's a better way to fold it away. It looks like that's the best you're going to get. Just sort of tucks in there. I still haven't figured this thing out. Let's see. Oh, I see. Okay. So there's a little tab on the back of this thing. I think this just sort of fits in there. Maybe. Is that it? I guess that's it. That's what it looks like. By the way, I didn't show off this book. It's actually very nice. It was packed in like a resealable bag, which I appreciate because every time Takara gives us the instructions books, they put them in taped bags, and you gotta rip the tape, and it ruins the bag. So they thought ahead on this one. Oh, this is a cool picture. Here's all the Toyworld's other figures. Cup hasn't come out yet. Their Springer hasn't come out. I don't know if they got their RC out yet. I don't think so. That's their Prime Orion, their Optimus Prime, and their Space Racer, or whatever they called this guy. I forgot what they called him. Those are all their figures. Here's a nice picture of Coolsville. So let's see. Where does it show? I don't see anything that shows off how to attach the weapons. So maybe they think it's just straightforward and I don't need them. Alright, well there's nothing in the book about it, so I'm going to say this is it. That's where it goes. It attaches that little side piece and that's it. But it looks good. I think that looks great. They didn't just put it on there, you know, they painted it. And it's painted red and silver and black. God, it's so good. it's such a good looking figure. I mean, I know. I'm sorry. I'm really gushing on this figure. I don't know why, but this is the first figure I've had in a long time, and I thought this is close to perfection when it comes to a Masterpiece Jazz. Let's get some other figures out here to compare. Alright guys, we'll compare with our trusty old Prowl here. Again, he's a little bit bigger than Prowl. A little bit taller actually, which I don't mind. Then here we have Masterpiece Wheeljack. He is about the same size, maybe a tiny tad bit taller than Masterpiece Jazz, or sorry, Masterpiece Wheeljack. But again, it looks pretty good there. Those three together are really awesome. Let's get in Prime. Gotta have your Prime figure in there. Here we have Prime. And again, perfect scale. I think that makes sense. I think that looks good. Very nice match. Yeah, overall, I think they did a great job with the sizing here. His chest is a little big compared to Masterpiece Prowl here, but we'll see what he looks like in vehicle mode, how he stands up with the other Masterpiece cars. But here's the robot mode, a very good look, a very good match with the scale. So let's get these guys out of here. And let's continue on with this the rest of the features here. Now his head, it doesn't appear to have a, yeah, so it's screwed on, so in order to get that off we have to take that screw. I'm not going to do that just yet, just because I don't like to tinker with the head and potentially break it. Alright, so here you have a grappling hook, and it's got a little hole in it. And there's no instructions explaining this. But my guess is you're supposed to put your own string between here and here. This is a rolling grappling hook. So let's see. If you fold that up, yeah. So if you fold up one of the hands, it exposes two little holes there, and this plugs into those holes, just like that. Or maybe the other way. Yeah, the other way fits even better. And then you would have a string, and this thing could hang off of it. Now, it didn't look like it came with a string, so I guess you have to supply your own string. Let's take a quick look through the box to make sure we didn't miss anything. Yeah, so there's nothing else in the box, it's just the styrofoam. So I think they want you to put your own string in there, which is fine. I don't mind that. That's okay. But a very, very nicely done feature here. I think they thought this through, and it's gonna roll up like that. You can just kind of spin it with your finger. So pretty cool. And we still have even more accessories to review here. So the last one here is the speakers, which again, there's no instructions explaining this in the entire book. They don't talk about any accessories. It just goes straight into transformation. Looks like 40 some odd steps for transformation, and that's it. It doesn't talk about accessories at all, and there's nothing else in the package to look at. So we're gonna have to figure that out ourselves, I guess. So here are the speakers. It looks like it should plug into something. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to plug into. I know you can... I thought you could mount these in robot mode, but I don't see a spot for it. Let's try to figure that out. Alright guys, I can't find any spot to mount these on, but it does look like he can hold them in sort of a weird position. So you can put this into his hand, and then somehow he's gonna... No, you can't rotate. Oh, you can rotate it. Okay. I don't know. That's pretty weird. I'm not a huge fan of that. There's no really good way to pose it like this. I guess he's supposed to use it as like a loudspeaker, or what do you call them? One of those megaphone. Right, you could use it as a megaphone maybe. But it's kind of silly. I don't know. I wish this mounted somewhere on his actual robot mode somewhere. Maybe it does, but there's no instructions, so you'll have to figure that out for yourself. But man, it's still really good looking. And very well articulated. We're gonna have to go over articulation a little bit. I think we're done with all the accessories here. I don't see any other spot to put these on. If you guys know where these go, let me know in the comments, but I don't see anything, and there's no instructions about them. But they are nicely painted. They're nicely painted silver with the black inside. So that's good. Everything matches very well on this figure. So let's get this out and let's go over articulation. So we'll start with the head. It is on a swiveling piece here. So you can get up like that, but you can also, I don't know if something locks that in or not. It's a little bit weird. Yeah, it has its own rocker, but then also that piece, the entire piece that the head is on, rocks. So you can get quite a bit of up. You can get them all the way up like that, or you can just get them up like that. And then down, you can get them plenty down. So plenty of movement there, full 360 rotation. I personally like and you can actually get a little bit of wiggle waggle on the head, which is, great for additional poses. Going on to the arms here, you have a very nice butterfly joint here. That might be for transformation, but it bends all the way up like that, and then down here it's a second joint. It rotates all the way around on the inner joint here, full 360. You do have a nice bicep swivel here. It's just really tight. You do get a double jointed elbow, so you get much more than 90-degree bend there, so that's good. A wrist swivel. You also get a individual articulated thumb, which is on a ball joint. It's a little weird. It comes out like that. It doesn't really bend, but then you got two sets of fingers here on the hand, which is fine. For a Carbot, I think it's fine. I'm finding this to be a little bit annoying. I wish it kind of locked in there. Maybe it does lock in, but so far I haven't found anything that makes this head sort of stay, locked position. Let's see. You do get a nice waist swivel right there. Plenty full 360 motion there. As far as the legs, you get pretty good articulation. It's one waist or hip skirts there. They kind of rotate together. So going out to the side, oops. Uh-oh. I guess that's a another hip skirt. I don't know. Interesting. So these that must be for transformation, but this comes up about here, unless you want to make this detach. It does feel a little flimsy here, this piece. You're kind of pushing on nothing there. I'm not sure what to hold. Anyway, and forward and back you get plenty of motion, 180 degrees there. Yeah, getting this back is actually kind of annoying. So yeah, that allows plenty of movement. The hip skirts are good. You do have a nice knee joint there. Allows at least 90 degrees, if not more. Rotation at the knee. And then you move this out of the way. You get a nice ankle tilt. So it hits when it comes back down. I'm not sure what's hitting. But that's about all it goes. Same on this side, so you can get it. Now this was straight when I first took it out of the package, so I think you can. Oh, there you go. Okay, so you can get it. You can get it straight, so he can stand perfectly straight if you wanted it to, which is nice. He's got a lot of flexibility in his posing. And then in terms of foot, you do have a little bit of foot articulation, although I'm not sure that's really what it's meant to be. So there's not really any toe or ankle pivot, but that's fine. But all in all, very, very posable guy. I think you could get some really, wide, crazy poses with this guy if you just spend some time. Again, I am not good at posing on camera, so do not take my example as what he can do, but he's capable of a lot. He's capable of a lot of posing here. I'm really impressed with what Toyworld's done here. So yeah, that's about it for robot mode. I can't say much more. I think it's a great figure. I think they nailed the robot mode. I think it looks great. I love the die cast pieces. This top piece here, the doors, and these bottom pieces here. That really adds heft and makes it feel like professional quality. My only gripe here is this. The head doesn't sort of lock in. And maybe it does lock in, but I haven't found a way yet. But it kind of just moves around a little bit, so you sort of have to get it into the spot you want and then just leave it and not touch it. But he really looks good. He really has very nice options for weapons. You can get these all back on there. and they did a good job. You know, they did a really good job at this. So let's just get this guy transformed into vehicle mode, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back from transforming. I have to say this was challenging. I don't have a lot of third-party transformers, so I'm not used to this level of difficulty, but it was worth it. I mean, look at this thing. It's ridiculously good. It rolls nicely, although it took a while to get it to this position where it's, you know, right. But it's amazing. It's like basically solid die cast on the outside except for the roof. So it feels really cool. My only gripe in getting into the transformation is this is a little loose. It doesn't really tab in anywhere. I was trying to figure out, you know, why it wasn't sitting. And it's really metal is trying to go into plastic here, or trying to go into grooves. So whenever you have that kind of situation, it doesn't necessarily want to stay there forever, but you can get it in. I love the tampo printing on the side there. It's just so well done. They are rubber tires, by the way. You have nice, nicely done rims with rubber tires. Everything did kind of peg away nicely. It doesn't look like a robot on the bottom, but it took a while to get there. It took me, you know, a good half an hour to get this. The instructions aren't great. They also don't include instructions about what to do with the accessories. I did finally figure this out. You can kind of stick these on here. They don't really attach. They just sort of sit there. And let's see. And that's the other problem. These, while you're doing this, they want to come loose. There you go. So you can do that, which is pretty cool. You got 2 speakers on the back of them. It seems like kind of an afterthought. Maybe they saw that the Make Toys version was coming with speakers, and they kind of wanted to have this. I don't know. It's not the best. It's not done as well as it could have been done, and it doesn't really stay there. Also, I don't know if it's going to scratch the metal, the paint, or not. So you don't want to be pushing it on there too hard, but it does attach. It's just not very secure. But for display purposes, it's fine. Looks okay. Yeah, this is getting irritating. Other than that, nothing else really attaches in vehicle mode. You can't really, you know, plug it in anywhere. So you do have the weapons. They don't really store on the figure. This thing is pretty damn heavy. We'll get a weight in just a little bit. Let's take a quick measurement here. So pretty much exactly 6 inches. And width-wise to the widest part of the wheel, a little short of 3 inches, maybe 2 3/4 inches. And then the thin part of the car is about 2 1/2, well, 2 1/4. So the back wheels are much wider than the front, which is awesome. That's what this car was. It had really wide back wheels, and it's got they actually cut out the vents, which is so cool. I mean, I don't know how many people out there are car guys, but these vents here were to cool the brakes on the back, and they didn't just make it, you know, a sticker. They actually cut out the metal there for the vents, like a very, very realistic car mode. I'm surprised they're not getting, you know, sued or, you know, have a copyright infringement here with this Porsche. But man, it really does look good. I'm really impressed, both in robot mode and vehicle mode. This thing is excellent. It really fits the part. It looks like what I expected. I'll put an image of the original G1 Jazz up there. I think this is a little more accurate to, you know, the real vehicle than it is to the G1 Jazz, but I don't care. I just think it looks so good that it doesn't matter. I mean, little details like this. Let's get in a little closer here. You know, you got the Dunlop Okay, so I guess they didn't want to have the wrong thing there. But then they put shell. So why did they put shell but then Dunlop? Obviously Martini is Martini Racing. And again, same thing on the back. They sort of got... this was a cool little feature. The exhausts here, those were actually part of, during transformation. That was the way to get those to expose. You had to fold that panel in. Really smart transformation. They painted the door panel here. Again, you got Martini, number 4. The front, again, you got Martini Racing across the front. Number 4. Then here you've got Bilstein, which should be Bosch. They've changed it to BOSSH. And then Shell. And again, they didn't change Shell, so I'm confused. Are they not worried about the copyright infringement on Shell? Maybe not. Anyway, really impressed. Now for comparison, let's bring in another figure here. Here we have Blue Streak. In terms of width, they are pretty much the same width, other than the rear wheels, which are a lot fatter. In terms of length, wow, just about the same length, maybe a little bit shorter, bumper to bumper, but with the spoiler, it's about the same. So this guy is right on the money, right on the target. And just for another comparison, let's bring in the Optimus Prime here. There he is with the MP10B figure. And again, because he fits in with the others, he just looks perfect here. They've done a great job on the scale and the paint and the color. I would say it's definitely difficult to get to here. Probably not as difficult as Make Toys versions of these things, but man, the detail is amazing. I actually think he's heavier than MP10B. Let's get out of scale and we'll really get that number. Alright guys, we got our scale here. Let's take a quick measurement. Because I do feel like this guy is pretty heavy compared to most of the Masterpiece figures I have here. So just for comparison, here is MP10B. He is 14.5 ounces. And Coolsville is about 9 ounces. And just for another comparison, here is Masterpiece Blue Streak. He is 4 3/4 ounces. So about double the weight of a normal Autobot car, which is pretty cool. I think they making him out of die-cast metal is really a nice touch by Toyworld. Let's get the other guys out of here. So that's really it, guys, for this review. I definitely recommend this. Absolutely recommend this figure. If you're looking for a Masterpiece Jazz, this is the one. This is the winner. I mean, I know the Make Toys one was out there, but he had some funky stuff going on with the looks. Especially he didn't come with the stickers. This comes with the Tampo printing. I don't know how they're getting away with that. This is obviously, very similar to the original vehicle, but whatever. They got away with it. It's even got little details here up on the hood here. These arrows and stuff. Just mind-bogglingly, detailed. Down to little things like that, That's just great. So I absolutely recommend this to anybody who's looking for a Jazz. I know Takara is trying to work out their licensing with Porsche, but who knows how long that'll take. If they do get the licensing, they can also make Cliff Jumper, but until then, it's gonna be a while, because I think Porsche didn't want to do the deal originally. So who knows? Meantime, we have this guy. This is so nostalgic because it reminds you of those die-cast toys you used to get as a kid. The original G1 toys. They were like this, and this is even heavier than that. But it's just, the quality level is so high. It's good. My only complaint is the rear spoiler kind of doesn't really stay. Kind of have to push it in there. But once you put it in, man, it's just great looking vehicle. I think the only thing I would change is maybe I tint these windows, you know, completely black, so you don't see what's on the inside. But other than that, absolutely amazing in vehicle mode. So that's it, guys. I won't be getting another figure for a while here. We're gonna wait for the, I think it's MP39 Sunstreaker. I don't have anything else on the way. More recently, the only thing I'm waiting for is the Weijing, the KO of the Toyworld car combiner. They haven't made the second arm of that figure yet, so we're still waiting for that. But as soon as we get that, we can do the fully combined mode, and then I'll probably actually sell that figure. We're also waiting for the DNA DK03 kit for the Fortress Maximus, so you get a little bit better articulation on the legs. And again, we're waiting for that to show up. Hasn't showed up yet. It's definitely delayed well beyond their original release date. So definitely subscribe and like. Please leave me comments if you have any questions about this guy. I'll be certain to try to answer your questions. And if you want to see something else about this figure, let me know. But I really am thoroughly impressed with the way this came together. You know, it's just a beautifully done figure. Alright guys, that's it. We'll see you next time.